Have you ever wondered how your body gets the energy to do, well, anything? From hitting the gym to get your dream summer body, to running down the hallways to get to that class you're 10 minutes late for, or simply breathing or blinking. You need energy for that. Well, duh. That energy comes from a process happening inside nearly every cell in your body every second. You've probably heard of it before. The process is called cellular respiration. But what actually is it? In this video, we're breaking it all down step by step so you can finally understand how a molecule of sugar becomes pure cellular power. Cellular respiration is a series of chemical reactions that convert the chemical energy in glucose, a sugar molecule, into a usable form of energy called ATP, which is short for adenosine triphosphate. ATP is like your cell's battery pack. Some people refer to it as your body's energy currency. The overall equation for cellular respiration looks somewhat like this. No, what on earth is that? Well, let's break it down. This molecule is called glucose. It is made out of 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms. Glucose and 6 moles of oxygen yields to 6 moles of CO2, 6 moles of H2O or water, and of course ATP or energy, which is what your body needs in order to function every single day. The first stage is glycolysis. It takes place in the cytoplasm, which is the jelly-like fluid outside the nucleus. One molecule of glucose is split in half, forming 2 molecules of pyruvate. Glycolysis doesn't require oxygen, and it produces 2 ATP, which is used by your cells to do things like move, think, or repair themselves. Glycolysis produces 2 of these, which is not a lot, but it's something. Your body needs a lot more, which should come in the later steps. It also produces 2 NADH molecules, which are molecules that carry high-energy electrons. Think of them like delivery trucks carrying special energy packages from glycolysis to the electron transport chain. They don't give energy yet, but they're very important later on. Lastly, this stage produces 2 pyruvate molecules. These are what's left of the glucose after it's been split in half. Each pyruvate molecule is like a partially used fuel source that gets sent into the mitochondria for the next step, the Krebs cycle. Speaking of which, moving on to the Krebs cycle. If oxygen is available, the pyruvate enters the mitochondria to undergo a process called the Krebs cycle, also called the citric acid cycle. This cycle happens in the mitochondrial matrix. Here, the pyruvate is broken down completely, releasing carbon dioxide, or CO2, 2 more ATP, and more electron carriers, NADH and FADH2, for example. The Krebs cycle serves as a sort of energy harvest. Most of the ATP isn't made here, but the stage collects the materials needed for the next one. Last but not the least, we have the electron transport chain. Now for the big energy payoff. The electron transport chain, or ETC, happens along the inner membrane of the mitochondria. All the NADH and FADH2 molecules made earlier donate their high-energy electrons to a chain of proteins. As electrons move down the chain, they pump protons across the membrane, creating a gradient, sort of like charging a battery. The gradient powers an enzyme called ATP synthase, which produces about 34 ATP molecules, a big increase from our 2 ATP molecules earlier from glycolysis. Oxygen then acts as the final electron acceptor, combining with hydrogen to form water. So let's total it up. If glycolysis produces 2 ATP, and if the Krebs cycle also produces 2 ATP, and if the electron transport chain produces 34 ATP, that sums up to 38 ATP per glucose molecule. That's incredible efficiency, and your cells do it non-stop to keep you alive. Without cellular respiration, cells couldn't function. Athletes wouldn't be able to move. The world would never have heard of Cristiano Ronaldo, The Rock, or Serena Williams. Your brain would also not be able to think, and even your heart wouldn't beat. Cellular respiration is the foundation of life. And yes, when there's no oxygen, your body switches to anaerobic respiration, which is basically when your cells try to make energy without the presence of oxygen, but it's way less efficient. So, now you know. Cellular respiration is how your body converts food into energy. 3 main steps, glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and the electron transport chain, work together to produce ATP, which is pretty amazing if you ask me. Well, thanks for watching, and hope you've learned something new today.